Yo, what's up, Podium? How you doing? All right. Yo, Johnny Mongo, thank you so much for the Prime resub for 17 months, dude. Really appreciate that. Give me one sec, guys. Getting everything ready here. All right. All right, all right. Guys, today is going to be a day focused around a weapon I'm curious about myself, and I'm surprised that I've not used it much at this point. And of course, it is the Spear of the Impaler. I'm gonna make a build focus around that specific Great Spear. I have done power stance of those in the past, but not like standalone. It is the longest one, and obviously you want the Ash to be front and center. The only thing I'm wondering, first of all, let's go respec to get the minimum stats requirement. We're gonna start with respec. Then after that, I want to verify if the Mesmer helmet boosts that weapon.
Is it thy way? Now.
Actually, before I respec,
Me no, I would.
let's just double check. So we need minimum strength is all right. So 35 dex, 18 fate.
Hard down. Now.
35 dex, 18 fate. And then the rest should be good. Interesting how the fate scales quite well. Huh, the fate. Okay, no, the fate scaling is not as good. Wait. Wait. Dex 36. 636.
Oh my
I think the damage will be able to scale a good amount, though, from the looks of it. So before we do that, I want to see the Ash of War damage if it goes higher with the Magma Talisman and with the Mesmer guy helmet. All right, Mesmer guy, where are you? Actually, Let's grab one of these. You never know. Maybe this one will fix it. That Mesmer guy. Wait. I swore I had it. Oh, there it is. I think I might have to redo it though. Okay, 1875. Now, try this. It does go higher. Alright, let's try this one. This one works too. So I think this helmet might be a little bit... Yeah, this helmet's a little better than Mesmer. So we're probably going to use this helmet. Now, the other thing that we want to see is... this one. Does not seem to affect it. The Mesmer helmet boosts the skills by 8%, and the Winged Serpent one boosts by 10. The Winged Serpent? What do you mean, the Winged Serpent? Which one is the Winged Serpent? It's the one I'm wearing? This one? The damage boost seems the same. This one is like 2055, and then this one, I think it was also the same. Oh no, it's not. You're right. Wow, so this one's actually better. I didn't even notice. Wow, you're totally right. Okay, that's gonna give us a little Ash of War boost. Enough. I think something like this would make sense for the build. Probably gonna go with something like that. And then level up our endurance so that we can carry this like that. And then pour the rest into offense, most likely. I think that's the plan. Yeah, I think this is the setup we're gonna rock for today. Something like that. Or nah, that's ugly. Fuck that. Your other option is this one. I think we're gonna rock this. Let's level up our endurance. Just like that, we only need 28. 28 endurance for this. Although, how much, curious to see how much stam this takes. It doesn't cost a lot. Okay, and what if I do this? wonder if that combos. Let's see, what else can we do here? Probably not worth it. The roll after the Ash seems to be fast. What about blocking? Blocking is fairly slow here. Oh my god, what is that? Holy R2, dude, it takes all your stam. Oh my god, it takes so much stam for the R2. That's crazy. Bro, look at this. It takes your whole bar. Okay, jump R2 is not a troll. Yeah, they didn't want us to spam this. It's probably balanced that way around PvE, because it would probably be too easy to just, like, fight PvE, like, from a distance with basically infinite projectiles, right? Oops, that clipped him somehow. Trying to see, like, after I do that, I think it's either gonna be like the R1. Okay, I don't need to do the full thing, so I can just do. Oh, you can unlock though. Oh my god. Okay, that is dangerous. I've never seen anyone unlock. Well, you don't see good players play with that weapon. That's dangerous though. You could just do the follow-up unlock. Like that. See that? You can basically 360. Okay. Alright, we're gonna level up. Focused around damage here. I wonder... Actually... I wonder if the Ash of War would trigger like a multi-hit talisman. I think it's worth testing. Honestly, I think it would be easier to test it here. And hear me out. I'm gonna attack the ballista. We're gonna kill the enemies and then attack the ballista. Let's go up instead. It'll be easier that way. It'll take a while to kill like all the knights and the thing. I don't want to spend too much time on this. Oh my god. Let's redo this. Let's redo this. Alright. Okay, there you go. Didn't want to hit the... Okay. So right now, we're gonna... Okay, our talisman buff wore off. So it does trigger the multi-hit tally when you hit with the second part of the Ash. That's interesting. Okay, so like, basically this triggers... Let's get this guy. Okay, get rid of everyone here that get disturbed. One sec, guys. I'll be right back. Give me one sec. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, before we start, I want to just try this again. maybe... I want to do it without hitting the... Okay, there you go, yeah. Yeah, it does trigger the buff with just like one, like just that one part of the ash. Like, if you just hit with this, you will trigger Rotten Wing Sword Insignia. So, I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure if I want to change the way I approach making this build. Because we could try to have it, like, you know, just use the multi-hit tallies. We could try that. 1 second. Okay. I think, though, even though we have this option for the multi-hit, I'm thinking that it's probably best to just pour these points into offense, because technically, like, technically, if you wanted to use the multi-hit, what you'd have to do is sacrifice these two talismans, because you're not going to sacrifice these two. That would be pointless. So you'd have to sacrifice these two. And so it's going to take a lot more endurance to be able to wield this whole thing. And I'm not quite sure that's worth it. Because like with the amount of points you save into endurance, like these points, you can put them straight into offense for this. And you get a lot of points for Fate and for Dex, so it's hard to tell what would be best here. I guess we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Worst case scenario, I can reduce my armor and just equip the multi-hit tallies, you know, just to see like what it's like even with like no poise or something like that. I think that's what we're gonna do. Okay, let's finish leveling up. Oh, diminishing return here. 50. Wait, 57. Oops. 52. 50. Wait. Okay. 61. 62. Okay. So I think beyond 50, I think Fate gets us more damage. Let's see here. 52 or 22. I think it's probably the same. 55. Wait, 74. Oh. Let's just pour everything here. Like 53. 38. 36. 38. 38. 37. I think it's probably like 50 is the sweet spot here. Yeah, I think you need 50 in both. It's like it's better with 50 dex and 50 fate. That's very interesting for stat spread. A little all over the place, but yo, J-Hoy, thanks for the Prime resub for 15 months, man. Really appreciate that. I forgot my YouTube chat all this time. There you go. Now I see it. Okay, so interesting stat spread. The 50-50 seems to be the optimal way to go about this, and quite frankly, 31. 2 points, 2 points, 3 points. Uh, do I go 58? I'm thinking right now, like, do I just, you know, do I just go like 50-50 and then not really sure why I would put an extra point into endurance, to be quite honest. Okay, let's just do this. All right, so this is it. This is the stat spread we got. I mean, it's a little all over the place. I'm not too sure that this is the best, but if we need to make changes, we're gonna make changes. Interestingly enough, though, that allows us to use. We're not gonna use. Oops. We're not gonna use freezing pots. Good thing we used them. I think for the hefty pots, what makes the most sense is the lightning one. And the fate one, or actually the madness one, would probably do good as well. I think the madness one makes sense. And I think the lightning one makes sense. I'm a little... And then for this one here... For this, we're gonna use fire coils because we can use fire coils with this. Okay, so it's gonna be lightning pot. Let's grab 5 of these. Madness pot. Let's grab 5 of these. And then we have our fire coil. That's gonna be the setup. Let's see what happens. Oh, also, before I start, I'm gonna grab like some BHS daggers. It's always best. Be able to BHS escape when you need to. Alright, like so. Alright, let's give that a shot. What's our AR? I think it was around 738 for split damage is not great. It's definitely not great. For split damage, like, I've definitely seen better. Like, for the amount of points we poured into offense, like, that's pretty low. Like, for 50 dex and 50 fate, definitely not gonna be, like, highest damage build by any stretch. If this works, it's gonna be because the ash is somehow valuable. If this works. Oh, there below. And also, I don't think the fire physic makes sense here. I think it's better to just go defense. Yo, they barely took any damage. What the hell? What is wrong? It barely did anything to them. We did like peanuts damage. What was going on there? Did they have the bubble and I didn't see it? They're going down. There's a blue in there right now. Not sure where that blue is. they send the elevator back up. I don't see the blue. I don't think we're gonna go searching for him. We're just gonna move on. Try to fight these guys. As soon as I hit this area, I'm gonna Ash of War. What's interesting is I stayed in the air for quite some time. Okay. Okay, this is... Man, this guy's quite laggy. This is very spammable. This is very spammable against a group of people because you have hype armor and this like hits like in an arc in front of you. Very, very wide. So this is extremely spammable. Interesting first invasion. I mean, they were extremely laggy, but or at least the host was. The Phantom seemed fine. Host was laggy though. But like right away, what I'm seeing is the Ash of War seems very strong against multiple people because you have hype armor, and it hits like it's hard to miss. Like you force them to dodge, right? Like you really force them to dodge, and it hits everywhere. Damage seems passable. Well, they had very little HP, so it's hard to know. What I like though is I like that you can unlock and just like free aim the follow-up. That follow-up being able to be free aimed is a big deal to me. Two players. Okay, the range is not great. I mean, we have to try it, right? You're running! I think he gave up. Yep. Interesting how even at point blank it missed a few times. Guy gave up right away. So many give-ups the last few streams. Yeah, I agree. Quite unfortunate. The first part, true combos, if the stagger particle... Wait. If the stagger particle that does no damage late hits, but it's hard to do on purpose unless they attack into it. Okay, I think I see what you mean. What I'm curious about is, let's say... let's say you hit them with just the, the forward thrust slash, basically like the second part. Does that combo into the third part where you just have the spears that come out of the ground? That's what I'm curious about. Because it seems like even if they dodge the first part of the Ash, the fact that you can free aim the second part, you can probably clip someone with that second part, even if they roll it properly, given that you can free aim it. So my question would be then, if you hit with the second part, does that combo into something, or can they just roll during the process? If it combos into the third part, that's going to be very strong. Because obviously I see people being able to easily roll the first part of the Ash. Can definitely see that. Don't think the second and third part combo. Ah, that's unfortunate. What's up, Canuck? No oil pots? I don't think the oil pots are quite worth it. If the oil pots, like, debuff people against fire for an amount of time, I think you could make an argument for them. But the fact that it's only worth one attack... Like, basically, I see oil pots as only worth it if your attack is, like, massive damage. Like, when we did, like, a pyro build at some point with the big fireball. If you oil pot them, then you hit them with the fireball, then they can get one shot. That's worth it. Wow, we actually cannot reach them. That's, thank you, Elden Ring. Like, it's physically impossible for me to reach my opponents. Unfortunate that this spear has this garbage throwing R2. If this spear had, like, the lance R2, dude, that would be very strong. Because it's very long. Like, the Ash of War seems pretty good. Especially given the eye armor. Probably gotta climb the cliff. And just gotta put on my Assassin's Creed gloves. Is this the longest Great Spear? Yeah, it should be. It should be the longest Great Spear. And apparently it's a lot longer than the weapon model. Like the hitbox, I mean. How many players in there? One guy. I'm actually curious to know if the Ash of War... Oh, nice rune arc there, buddy. Didn't want to drain myself out of stamina. Bro. Dude, he almost fucking killed me out of that. I think we're gonna have to heal here. Oh no, I did a R2 by because I'm used to it. Kinda want to TS this guy, I'm being totally honest. Oh, shit, net. This fucking scrub is just so sad and shit. And garbage ass player goes down. $750 is good, but it seems inconsistent. Yeah. Yeah, I did get the true combo, I think, like, twice. And one time I didn't get it. From what you said, Callie. players. Raining though. Okay, my muscle memory always tells me with Great Spear to use the... Well, there's half the people lagging these days, like... That's not sorry, that's that Dark Souls 3 stand. Solve, thanks for the resub for 43 months, man. Thanks a lot, dude. Bro had no HP. Yeah, bro had no HP, but had the veil of the connection. The lag is bad for everyone right now. I think sometimes like that lag is due to, it's not due to like anyone's fault. Like sometimes it's the infrastructure. Like a few months ago this year, we had like Cloudflare, whatever it's called, was having issues, and like some lines were damaged, I think, and it was affecting the connection between like you know, a bunch of continent. Like some underwater cables were affected or something like that. And so when stuff like that happens, like it doesn't matter like how good your internet is to your local data center, you know? And like if your connection traverses through these damaged lines, well, everyone's gonna be lagging. How many players in there? 2 players. I really like the free aim for that. Crouch attack there did very little. Crouch attack did 291 against that Phantom. Why is Reddit allergic to leveling Vigor? I don't think they know. I don't think these people know that they should be leveling up Vigor. Again, like, you know, for PvPers, you know, if someone like is starting out doing the PvP in this game, like, you know, they'll have like you know, they'll be like watching channels like Chase, maybe Steel, if they're lucky, maybe me. And every build that they'll see, like, it will have like logical stat allocation no matter like which weapon is used, because every one of us like knows how to make build. And when it comes to PvEers though, like what do PvEers watch? Like, you know, if PvEers watch like Fextra Life, like their build is gonna be downright trash, you know? If they're lucky and they follow Gino, well, Gino is making builds based around like pure damage, and so that's not gonna serve a PvEer. And even for like, you know, these speedrunners, like their build works because they know every boss move by heart. If you're going through the game for your first time, you're not going to be able to make use of that sort of build. Like, you know, like if Gino plays the DLC for his very first time, it's not going to make any sense to not have Vigor, even for someone who's very good at PvE. And I mean, you know, I proved that point when, like, someone made a vid about, like, all the people that streamed the DLC, and you had Distortion in there, who basically was, like, on record the one who did the best against the DLC. As far as like the PvE crowd, And, you know, he died many times to some of the bosses, and that's not because he's bad. That's because if you don't know the move set of what you're going against, you need some HP, because you need to be able to make some mistakes. And so the point is, no matter who you are, if you're going up against things that you don't expect, or if you're going up against a situations which you're not necessarily 100% prepared for, you need that buffer for mistakes, or to allow things to play out so that you can adapt. And so you need the HP. But the poor PvEers, they don't have anyone to look up to like tell them how to make proper PvE builds when you're going for your first playthrough. And they probably don't know either that a lot of these PvP builds are better suited for PvE than a lot of these PvEers that they're watching. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like if you're doing some PvE, chances are like your PvP build is going to do amazing. Like your strength build, your dex build, your fate build, it doesn't even matter which build, but like a good all-around strength build, or a good all-around dex build, or a good all-around fate build, they're all going to do good in PvE. Granted, you're using the right weapon for the boss. If you're not using like a colossal, because a colossal sometimes can make it harder for some bosses. But all in all, these PvP builds do amazing in PvE. It's just that when the PvEers look at the better PvE players, the speedrunners, it's not going to help them build their character properly. Because the speedrunners build in function of never getting hit, because they learned all the movesets and all the routes by heart. So for them, like, they're not actually outplaying anything. They're memorizing a sequence of event and what to do in a specific order, as opposed to reacting to the unknown, which is what anyone will do on their first playthrough. They'll be reacting to something they don't know. And that's what PvP is all about. PvP is all about adapting to the unknown, because you don't know what your opponent is going to do either. Which is why someone like me did better in the DLC, like this DLC on my first run, than, you know, the better speedrunners. Like, I'm better at PvE than speedrunners if we're both blind, if we're both going at it blind. Why? Because I'm better at adapting than they are. You know, I've proven that time and time again through PvP. You know, winning many tournaments, not just in this game, but in multiple games, including competitive one like Rainbow Six Vegas 2. Difference is, these speedrunners are very good at what they do, but what they do is not adapting. They memorize a sequence of event, and so it plays very differently. And so PvP skill set is more applicable to PvE if you're going through the game for the first time. Want to see how I do the next From Software game blind? Well, I mean, it's, you don't have to take my word for it. I streamed all of that. Like, it's somewhere on the channel as well. Like, you know, you don't even need to take my word for it. Like, most of the bosses in this DLC, you know, going through the game for the first time, I went through the DLC at level 125. 105, actually, to 125. And most of the bosses, I beat them in either 1, 2, or sometimes 3 times, rarely 3 times. But most of the bosses I beat in the first go, and then the bosses I didn't beat on my first go, usually beat them on my second go. And then some rare bosses took me 3 tries, and then Radon, the last boss, Radon, when the DLC came out, took me way more tries, but still less tries than the, you know, the speedrunner that are also on record for their first blind playthrough. And keep in mind, like, I didn't, like, go through the DLC, like, cheesing while shield poking. And also, these people that I'm talking about, these speedrunners, they all went through the DLC at, like, you know, level 200 plus. Like, it's much harder going through the DLC at level 125 than it is at level 200. If I went through the DLC at level 200, I probably would have cruised through a lot of these boss fights. Even more than I already did. Because, I mean, like, what will I do with these extra points? Like, I'm not going to level up above 60 vigor. These extra points are all going to go into offense. And the DLC doesn't scale according to my level. And so I'd basically be doing more damage, just purely. And my point is not that, you know, I'm so much better than all these speedrunners. I don't really care about speedrunning. I really don't. My point is, the skill set that you learn doing PvP, which is adapting, is more applicable for PvE than it is speedrunning. Because at the end of the day, you're adapting to what you're seeing. That's all I'm trying to say. Did you beat that 105 for my mule? Yes and no. I did not, like... Keep in mind, I went through the DLC. I did not use, like, any mule to go through the DLC. Like, I have a character that doesn't have any you know, any drop. Well, any drop, really, because that's the only thing I have. Like, this character, you know, has a ton of weapons. Those are just drop weapons. I never, like, save edited or anything like that. But the character I went through the game with is not this one. It's, you know, it's my PvE character. I got everything just by playing the game. I'm limited in the amount of weapons that I have fully upgraded, just like everyone else. Because, quite frankly, I think it's pointless to go into a boss fight and be able to throw, like, infinite rot pot and just cheese the boss that way. Like, the way I went through the DLC was using mainly, what's it called? The, you know, the poison claws? There's a poison claw one. I use mainly the bleed infused poison claws on, like, a dex or a string build. I think I used them on the dex build, actually. I was on the dex build and I used bleed infused poison claws with barbaric roar on them. Like, these ones here. Yeah, venomous fangs, there you go. Like, that's what I beat most of the DLC with. Venomous fangs on a dex build, bleed infuse with barbaric roar. You know, like, some people, like, cheese the DLC with, like, Endure Starfist or, like, Fingerprint. But, you know, I preferred... that's just personal preference. Like, if you were going blind into a fight and you, like, you know, let's say your life depended on it. Like, if my life depended on it, I would probably go for, like, a fingerprint shield poke build, because that's the easiest cheese you can get. But I think if you're going through the game for the first time and you want to enjoy yourself, I would stay away from range stuff, and I would stay away from shields. I think you want something that can do damage, that has low recovery so that you have time to dodge the attacks of the boss, but, you know, you get in there, it forces you to roll. You get good damage. What's the hardest boss I fought? Well, I mean, for Elden Ring, it was definitely Radahn before they nerfed it. Like, as far as blind bosses. Like, Radahn's the boss that took me the longest. Going in there blind. And I ended up swapping. I didn't stay on the Venomous Fang. The issue I had and why I think it took me so many tries is that the Venomous Fangs were just too short for Radahn. I was having a hard time hitting the boss even when I had opportunities. And so, ultimately what I used was just jump spamming with double Great Stars. That's basically how I beat it. I got tired of trying to outplay the boss. I basically cheesed the boss with jump spam, endure, double Great Stars. Fire Giant was the longest boss in your first run. For my first run of the game, quite frankly, I don't even remember which boss that I struggled with. I know Millennia, the very first time, I took like... I think I took like probably 45 minutes to kill her, which was the longest for my vanilla run of the game, my first blind run of the game, but I don't remember if any other boss like gave me any kind of trouble. I will... Oh, no, that's not true. That is false, actually. The hardest boss for my first run was the Black Gargoyle in Kaled, because I was extremely under level when I attempted it. That one was the longest one, yeah. That black gargoyle, when you get there and you're under leveled, like that thing takes no damage. And also, if you don't know that it's weak to blunt damage, like you're gonna be here for a while. So actually, that black gargoyle is it's actually the boss that took me the highest amount of tries, DLC included, but not for the right reasons, just because it's oh wow, that clipped me. On my screen it looked like a little bit to the side. Dude, that no look. There you go. I will say though, this weapon is kind of fun so far. Like the Ash of War is very spammable, but it's not like free. Like I feel like it requires me to unlock and free aim that follow-up in order to land it. I don't hate it so far. I will not say that it's that good, but it's not the worst at managing multiple people. Like, because your Ash has insane hyper armor and hits very wide, it's very easy to throw it out. Like, there's not that much downside to just spam it. You pressure with the R2 throw. Problem with that R2 throw is the stamina. Oh, you can't see it, but the stamina it takes is basically my whole bar. And so if you don't kill them with the R2 throw, you can't pressure them afterward and they're free to heal. That's the issue with the R2 throw. It's it takes too much stam and it drains all your bar. Yeah, that R2 is kind of ass if I'm being honest. Like, I would much rather have the Lance R2 than this throw R2. Like, and also it's slow. Like, that's a very slow attack. Like, at this point, you're better off just throwing a harpoon. Like, your harpoon is not gonna take crazy amount of stam to throw out. It's gonna be a little faster. You're gonna be able to pressure after it. Max level, it's easy. Well, I mean, max level is kind of, you know, it's playing at max level is for new players. I'm being totally honest. Like, the whole concept for the game and building your character, it falls apart after a certain amount of points that you have to allocate. Like, build making is a paramount part of these games, and at max level, build making doesn't exist. The idea when you make a build like that is you want to create something and you have to sacrifice in some aspects in order to gain in other aspects. That's the whole point of build making. And so when you play at max level, you have pretty much everything for free without ever needing to sacrifice anything. It really goes against the philosophy of the game itself. I think this franchise, this whole genre, Souls games should not allow you to level up past level 200 because there's no point. Quite frankly, there's no point. Like, after level 200, like, everything you make, like, there's no argument to be made that any build you want to make cannot be made at 200. Everything else after that, you're just getting freebies, like, oh, you know, like, my strength dex magic hybrid now can have fate too, you know? if it was you, the cap would be 150. Of course, like if it was me, like, you know, if it was me, the cap would be at level 100 and the game would be like so much more challenging. But realistically, it cannot be at level 100 because that's not enough levels for the people who are new to the franchise. And you know, people would struggle with only 100 levels in order, like, fighting like some of these last or end game bosses or end game enemies. And so, even though it's not the hardest thing or anything, it would promote more challenge and like craftier build making. You'd have to account for and change a few things if you wanted the game to have a cap of 100. But again, that's more like personal preference as opposed to something that makes sense on a broader sense. Level 200 though makes sense on a broader sense because at level 200 there's no argument anymore for leveling up higher than that. Like, it just doesn't exist. What's interesting is that stunned me. It's so spammable. That's funny. And yeah, 150 is also would be a good middle ground there. But again, like the reason why I say 200 and not 150 is that at 150, like, the people who are experienced with these games would find it to be like a very well-rounded soft caps, but it's more like the newcomers and the scrubs and the people who are not familiar with these games. Like, they need to have a little breathing room to make mistakes when they allocate their stats. And I think 200 is very generous for that. You can make a lot of miss point allocation, and you can end up with a build that can still do a good amount of damage at 200. Whereas 150, you can make mistakes, but for someone who's never played these games and they're not familiar with where they should allocate their points, you know, obviously there's less room to make mistakes or make errors in your build allocation. And you know, I have, like, to me, like I believe that, like, strongly. I don't even think it's a matter of opinion that the game would be better with a hard cap at 200. I think even the people who say that they prefer the game having max level at 817 or whatever the number is in this game, even these people, they don't even know themselves, but they would prefer the game with a cap at 200. It's just that they don't know. But even them, they would prefer the game with a 200 level cap. They just don't know it because they don't quite understand the dynamic that goes behind build making. It's like the more experienced with the game you are, the more you appreciate build making, the more you appreciate, like, having to sacrifice in something in order to make in other stuff. There's PvEers that wish the game allowed you to start these games immediately at max level. Well, I mean, that's what you do in your follow-up playthrough, though. Which is why usually the follow-up playthrough are sometimes, like, sometimes easier. Bro, I can't even finish a sentence. We're just spamming through everyone. That shit's so funny. Man, what the hell? But yeah, I forgot what I was saying. God damn it. I lost my train of thought. I was consumed by the spam. Made your friend play through this like a normal person for the first time before dropping him runes, weapons, and stuff he liked? Yeah, I mean, of course, like, at the end of the day, you want your build to be what you want. Like, you want, like specific stuff. You want to play with the weapons you enjoy, and what builds you find cool, and armors you find cool, yada yada. But that's, you know, that's part of playing the game, right? Like, gathering that stuff is part of the fun. Although I will say with Elden Ring, once you've beaten the game once or twice, like, it can be tedious to go through the game again for another time because it takes a long time to go through the game unless you're a speedrunner that knows all the routes by heart. Oh, that's it. Pulls down. Just like that. You see why Kevin's love this weapon? I don't think this spear is very good for PvE though. Like, it doesn't do a lot of damage, and that sort of Ash of War usually is not. Actually, I don't know. Maybe against an enemy that doesn't move, maybe the DPS is good for the Ash, but like you're basically stuck in place as a sitting duck for quite some time. But against other players, if you're a PvEer and you're trying to get rid of an invader with your friend, like, it's very easy to throw this out. And your friend attacking in tandem with you, like, it's gonna give very little opening to the invader for sure. Yeah, I just saw the bitrate comment, bro. Like, I cannot believe this shit. Like, last stream, I tried to have the stream be at 30 FPS so that, you know, there's more bitrate for the amount of frames to generate, so the image looks a lot cleaner. I mean, the image is bound to look cleaner at 30 FPS. But then people were complaining about the 30 FPS, and so I said, all right, I'll go back to 60 after that. People prefer the 60 FPS. And now today, they're fucking complaining about the low bitrate because they lose the image quality. That's kind of funny. But I will say that the image quality right now is lower than what I usually have for Twitch and YouTube. Because I'm trying different settings and I'm slowly, like, working it back. And quite frankly, the issue is that the good settings to stream on Twitch, it's like you want 60 FPS, but you want a 936p as opposed to 1080p. And wait, resolution is lower than normal? No, resolution is at 1080 right now. Let me see. Yeah, wait, what? It says 720 here. What the hell? Why is the resolution 7? Wait a sec. Let me refresh that. That is not normal. What the hell? Why is the resolution 720? I swear to God, my resolution right now is 1080. I have no idea why the stream is at 720. Wait a sec, let me double check that. Yeah, it's 720 for me too, look, but it shouldn't be like that. That is not normal. Right now, the settings for Twitch is 1080p 60 FPS, bitrate is at 8400. And it's outputting exactly that. That's not supposed to be this way. Let me actually see what the bitrate looks like for you guys. Let me just watch for a second. 'Cause that is not normal. Bro, yeah, it's always OBS. It actually is always OBS. Like, let me just turn the camera a bit so I can see the bitrate and everything. Oh my god, it's actually horrible. What the hell? Dude, that is not the settings that I have. I swear to god. That's fucked up, man. That's crazy. No way, dude. It's even worse when you spam L2. I believe it. See, like, that's why I change the settings every stream, because stuff like that is not normal. That's wild, dude. That is wild. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. Let me look at... I'm curious about YouTube. Does YouTube have this problem? Let me see here. Let me see YouTube. Actually. Okay, YouTube is fine at 1080 60. Let me see the bitrate. Yeah, it's normal on YouTube. Wow. Bro, it's normal on YouTube and not on Twitch. What the hell? I don't understand anything. That's crazy, dude. Dude, OBS is fucking wild. Like, I could send you like screenshots of the settings right now. Like, basically the Twitch output is not the settings. Like, it has nothing to do with it. Like, it's just completely different. Like, you got, like, clearly... Let me actually restart the Twitch stream. Let's see if I can, I can fix this. Still the same? That's crazy. Bro, that's wild. That is so wild. Wow, 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 wow. That's crazy, dude. Like, I'm looking at my settings right now and everything's normal. Actually, I say everything is normal, but the OBS outputting bitrate for Twitch is not normal. Right now, I'm looking at the bitrate that OBS is outputting to Twitch, and it's varying between 6,000 and 11,000, which is not normal, whereas YouTube is at a steady, like, basically 8,000 something, or basically around like 7 something and 9 something, which is normal, like, bitrate fluctuation. And Twitch doesn't have normal bitrate fluctuation right now. Okay, let me try to change this here. Try to do that. Yeah, Twitch doesn't like above 8,000, which I actually did do today. Let me see again right now. Yeah, it's still bad. It's still bad. Alright, we're gonna try changing this to this here. What the hell? Yeah. What's fucked up right now is no matter which setting I input for Twitch, it doesn't change anything. Like, no matter what I do, like, it doesn't change anything for Twitch. It's like stuck at 720 shit bitrate. That's fucked up. Twitch bug? JeeNiNe, this happens? What do you mean? Could you, like, elaborate on that? Okay, you see 1080 on Twitch now? Oh, let me see. Refresh. Oh, yeah, I see 1080 as well right now. Okay, so let's try turning the camera, see if it's better. Okay, yeah, that's much better. Okay. This is fucked up. It's so finicky, man, like so strange. All right, well, at least we figured that out. So let me explain what I did differently this stream. So last stream we had We tried 30 FPS last stream, right? And then today what I did was I went back to 1080, but I still upped the bitrate a little bit. Like, from what I read online, the maximum that you can get on Twitch is 8,500, but apparently that is false. Because today I tried 8,400 and this happened. Like, the stream was basically forced at 720, which I assume that's because Twitch thought the bitrate was too high. And it just like forced the stream like to 720 basically. And so what I did there, like restarting the stream, I lowered it to 7,900, which 7,900 is what I always use for Twitch. But I use 7,900 with 936p though. And what that means is like there's not much visual difference between 936p and 1080, but it makes the bitrate like it makes a better allocation of the bitrate for the amount of resolution that it has to cover. But, you know, like, up until recently, I was going like from 7,900 to 8,000 to 8,100. You guys didn't say anything, but maybe this happened, like, before. Like, maybe that bitrate was worse a few streams ago as well. I don't know. Like, next stream, I'm gonna try 8,000 instead of... Instead of 7,900, I'm gonna try 8,000 next stream. Oh, that actually cancels this. Okay, yeah. This cancels me out of my Ash. That's interesting. You read in a thread that the max is 8,350? Dude, that would go in line exactly with what happened just there, because the stream before I was at 8,300, and then this stream I tried 8,400. And so I think this is probably the real number, like you said, because it goes in line with what I was trying. So 8,350 is probably correct. So, although to be fair, when I tried to revert back the bitrate, like when the stream was stuck at 720, I had it down to like 8,000 and like 8,200. And it just wouldn't change. Like, it only changed when I went to 7,900. You wouldn't be surprised if Twitch nerfs bitrate more over time. What's fucked up with Twitch and how backward they are is they don't allow freaking... like, they only allow H.264 for the compression, for the encoding. And H.264, the problem with H.264, it's reliable, you know, it's tried and true, tested. But it's not, like, optimal to compress a lot of bitrate. And so, like, they have that very low limit for bitrate, but they don't allow good compression. Like, YouTube, on the other hand, allows high bitrate and better compression on top of that. So technically, if I was able to stream at 8,000 bitrate with, like, AV1 compression instead of H.264, you guys would see, like, much cleaner bitrate, and it would take the same amount of bandwidth. But bandwidth shouldn't be my issue. Like, I have a 1 gigabit up and down connection, so, I mean, my issue is not bandwidth. My issue is like something is fucking things over in the system, and like on different settings, like as you guys saw, like the bitrate tanks for OBS, and it's not a bottleneck from the system, it's not a bottleneck from the connection. So I don't know where the bottleneck or the issue even is. Like I'm basically just... Oh wow, it goes through the pillar. That's amazing. Alright, let's focus on this here. There we go, alright. So I don't even know, like, what's the issue for OBS to like, the tank. Like, what happened, like, a few streams ago. Like, technically, I always had, like, good settings for the visuals for Twitch. Like, what I did was 936p, 7,900 bitrate, which is, you know, like, as high as you can realistically go on Twitch without any issue. And I never had a problem with that. It's ever since I used a plugin to stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. There's something that OBS doesn't like in that setup. And sometimes it makes the frame rate tank, or the bit rate tank or something, or the frames. I don't know like what's actually tanking it, but it's not the system. Like my PC can take like way more than that, and it's not the connection either. Not quite sure what it is yet, but that's what I'm trying to figure out, like trying these different settings. How is I assume you mean H.265, not H.2 but like H.265 is not as reliable as H.264, but in the context of streaming, like if you're gonna if you're Twitch and you're gonna limit bitrate so heavily, like you cannot limit the compression as well. Like you need to let people like use these better compression if you're gonna limit the bitrate. Because like we wouldn't have any issues right now if I could have my bitrate at like 12,000. 12,000 would be more than enough for H.264. I didn't even know you can take this route. Wait, what? I was sure he went the other way. Okay. I love how you can change target like mid swing. If Twitch just plain allowed us to go to 12k bitrate, like we would not be having that issue, or at least like 12k for partners and shit. You know, like let the peasants stream at 8k and let us partners stream with higher bitrate. Like I understand from Twitch perspective, like if you're allowing people that have like, you know, like 3 viewers to take like bandwidth for no like advertising revenue, like sure, but like, you know, like streamers that have like, you know, enough viewers, they should have this opportunity. Like right now, our viewers went down because we restarted the stream like 5 times, but you know, normally like I think we hover around 100 these days. Obviously, it can go a little higher or a little lower.
Hey.
compelling gameplay. The host is now he's more visible with his shield. Interesting. Oh. Same game. Just pulled out BHB. Spring trap. Range on that. His parry timing is so bad that we can't even backstab that. Didn't want to get parried there. Bro. That Elden Ring tracking. Finally. There he got. Yeah, for real though. I don't think we can just stand there. Mildly cancer. Well, I don't think there's really much you can do there unless you have the inventory prepared to deal with that. I didn't have Endure as a quick swap. This is legitimately, like, unavoidable. You have to laugh at how dumb this is. No BHS. BHS doesn't matter here. Only Endure can save you in a situation like that. Endure, you chug, like, half your potions. Like, you Endure into 2 potions, and then you keep rolling. And even then, I'm not even sure you survive that, because in order to swap to Endure, like, you need to swap to it. And because this game doesn't allow you to swap while getting hit, there's a good chance you might not even be able to pull out that swap because you're constantly getting hit. And also the fact that Bone Bow headshotted, that's pretty much what sealed it. Also, I don't think this spear works in stairs though. Like, it seemed like the blast just does not follow the stairs, it just goes in a straight line. Oh. I don't really have Endure here, so just gonna hope for the best. Okay. Well, we got the host. The overleveled was hiding somewhere else, but teammate didn't take care of him. We got killed while we were killing the host, but that's fine. I mean, we won. He could have just spammed Gravitational Missile to save his friend, and that would have worked better for them. This did a lot of damage, though. Like, I was on my Physic here. I was on my Physic, and it two-shot us. What the hell was that? What the hell was that, dude? Oh my god. Dude, the host died with such a delay. That was so strange. Lingering hitbox? Yeah, I think that's what happened. What do you guys think so far of this spear? I think for the most part, it's really an Ash of War stick, which has the good, like, jumping attack. I mean, it has, like, some of the good attacks of Great Spear, but it feels like you really use that for the Ash more than anything. Because the damage for the normal attacks are not particularly high. But the Ash of War does good enough damage so that, you know, it can kill people in an invasion setting, but I don't think you'd be able to use this in, like, a try-hard invasion setting. Like, it's not like Barbara or Kata or anything close to that. But it's good enough to do the work in normal invasions. Yeah, I think, Odium, that's the correct way to put it. I think the Ash of War has more potential as a swap. I think so too. I think this is more of a swap thing. The only issue is that, you know, you need that 18 Fate in order to have that swap available. Like, you need a Dex build with 18 Fate. And so, like, this would probably be best as a swap from, like, unironically, a Tree Spear build. Because your Tree Spear will just do way better. Like, a two-handed Tree Spear will do way better than this. But using this as a swap with the Tree Spear would, like, be the best of both worlds. That's kind of funny. I don't know what else do Dex build use with 18 Fate? Which other weapon do Dex build, like, benefit from having 18 Fate other than Tree Spear? Vikes, dude, it's only the fucking it's only the great spears. Yeah, Vikes is definitely not a good choice. The Axe Copter, aren't they strength though? I don't know. Let's see the scaling. Let's actually see the damage we would have with Axe Copter. Let's see. Grab one. Where's the other act? Oh, this one. Okay, we don't even have the stats for this one. What else is there? Oh, the Envoy Horn. He's C-scaling and everything. You guys been waiting for that? Maybe this. Okay, like for our current stat spread at 50-50, we can actually afford to have a little more, but... let's see here. We can't use this one. This one can't use as a swap. Let's see. What else is there? Unironically, no, I don't have enough strength. Even if I two-hand it, god damn it. Dude, if we have a little bit more strength, we could two-hand the Envoy Horn and be able to use that. Like, looking through this whole list, there's really not that much. Like Halo Sight. But Halo Sight's kind of bad, man. Like, even the Ash of War, like, you know, it can be annoying, but it's not, like, you know, if you pull out Bone Bow, you're gonna do better than Halo Sight. What else is there? Oh, the PvE weapon of Doom, the Black Knife, which, quite frankly, is completely useless. Where else is there? Oh, Golden Epitaph? I mean, it's not really useful. Oh, Leda Sword Debuff Master. I guess we can use Leda Sword on this. Wave of Gold? Oh yeah, Wave of Piss. Yes, Wave of Piss. Damnation is actually... but you can't swap to it because you need 20 strength. Wait, where is Wave of Piss? Should be here, right? I skip it. Oh, there it is. Wave of Piss, unironically, would probably do a lot of damage on this stat spread. Because it's Fade Dex, just like what we have. Okay, so Wave of Piss is a good one. Let's see, what else is there? We want, like, unique ashes. I mean, Magma Blade, I don't think it's very good, but... Oh. Right now, we can technically use Eclipse Shottle. Probably somewhat optimally. I don't know about optimally, but, you know, it should be a very good stat spread for that. There's actually more weapons than I thought that are Dex Fate. Or that do decent on Dex Fate. That Serpent Flail would probably do a lot of damage, even though I don't like it. Okay, I think we went over everything. Obviously, there's that Clean Rot Spear. Actually, we can't even swap to it. It's 16 strength. Okay, that's interesting, though. We actually have a few weapons we could try. The hole's dead already? Oh no, he's not. Oh, a DC. Dude, I was about to drop my weapons on the floor to reorganize my inventory, and the host DC'd right away. That's scary. We almost lost our weapons. Insane. These people are great. Like, I was about to drop, you know, my extra Misericord daggers here just so that I put them, like, at the bottom. You know, just to be able to quick VHS escape. What's the AR for this? Ew. 667? That's so bad. Okay, that's ass. What about this one? Ooh, 796 is good. That's good. This one you can only use it two-handed, but I'll be happy to have it. If, that's not great. How about this? 600. Does this boost the damage? Yeah, a little bit. And these weapons don't even have good damage. They really don't. What about Marika? Oh, you can't even swap to it. You need to two-hand it. Or about DAR for these? That's also bad. Dude, like, a lot of these swaps are there. Anyone else back to 720? Is the stream back to 720? So let me see here. No, I'm still at 1080. Stop scaring me like that, Canuck. You're scaring me. Alright, let's go back. $720 for you. Oh my god. You reset the stream and you got 720? That's fucked up, dude. Oh my god. What about the bitrate? Is the bitrate like terrible like last time? It's still 1080 for you? You did, and it switched to shit frames? No way, dude. That's so fucked up. Oh my god. Dude, that's so sad. Oh, I don't even know what to do anymore with this shit. How many players in there? It's 2 players.
Hey!
Is he glitching, or is his things gonna last a certain amount of time? Or like something gonna last a certain amount of time? Oh, come on, you dumb game. It gave me the fucking BS grab where we should have ended it. You opened 2 other tabs and they're now 720. Bro, that is fucked up. Dude, what is wrong? What is wrong with this, man? Oh. I say that, but I'm looking at the OBS bitrate for Twitch, and it's jumping again by a lot, whereas YouTube is stable. And keep in mind, like, this is the same instance of OBS, like... Dude, that is crazy, man. I don't know why it does that. That's fucked up, dude. Now YouTube is fine, guys. Like the YouTube stream has been fine since the start. It's Twitch that's having issues for whatever reason. But when I look at my OBS, like the bitrate for YouTube is stable and the bitrate for Twitch keeps jumping, even though they have the same exact settings. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I think I'm just gonna... Actually... Bitrate is not bad like it was in the beginning, at least. What is going on? This is so random. Let me see. For me, I'm still at 1080. Let me refresh to get the terrible 720 like you guys. You see what it looks like. Yeah, now it's stuck at 720. Yeah, the bitrate is not the worst. I've seen worse than that, but it's not, it doesn't seem like it's normal. Your main tab is still clean 1080. Well, probably best to keep it like that because I don't know what's going on. Dude, like, I wish I knew what was going on. This is so annoying. Like, I've been fighting with this fucking OBS and Twitch settings for a few streams now. And right now, there shouldn't be any issue because the bitrate for Twitch is at 7,900, which is what I've been using for literally, like, years. But maybe what happened earlier, like, maybe it's bugged or something, I don't know anymore. Change area. Looks fine at 720 now. Earlier, too many artifacts. It's so strange though. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Let me look at my connection. I have this piece of software that monitors get lost. Nope. Nope, 0%. Everything is fine there. Never mind. Well, at least I checked. See, guys, it's Steel's fault that I can't get invasions. Because now everyone has the tools, so they're taking all the invasions. And because I'm not searching as many areas as the modded guys, can't find anything. Let's blame it on Steel. Steel is responsible for the lack of activity in Elden Ring. To be fair though, this is actually quite surprisingly dead. Like, we're not getting anything. Now we know who to blame. Yes, now we know who to blame. Let's invade from different areas though. But yeah, I want to get this whole like Twitch and OBS thing figured out before like, you know, before like Tarnished Edition, which is coming up in August. So I still have a few streams to play around with the settings. Out of stem. Nice, nice. Guaranteed if you put the blue ring on, you'd get summoned in 30 seconds? Bro. Alright, let's start the timer. 30 seconds timer starts. Well, I mean, it's already started since I used the thing. Let's see. Well, we get summoned in 30 seconds. E 10 seconds left. Three, 2, 1. No blue invasion. What if we spam it? Yeah, fuck it. I think it's a waste. Being a blue is always boring. Well, in Dark Souls 3 at least, like, you could get in situations where the host legitimately needed help as a blue. Like, as a blue, you could basically save lone hosts from guaranteed deaths from invaders. So that, you know, I think that made sense and that was fun to do here and there, but I mean, in Elden Ring, it feels quite pointless, let's be honest. You're just here to pile on someone who's already getting ganked. But like in Dark Souls 3, like lone hosts that got invaded legitimately like didn't really stand much of a chance if they were like new players. And so I think blues really served a real purpose there to protect the lone host. But yeah, I mean, in this game, it's already hard to fight two scrubs. Like if they have like spammable setups or range attacks that like adding a third player to that just makes this kind of unenjoyable. Invasions are really dead. It seems so. Definitely not getting a lot. And right now it's 6 p.m. my time. I'm basically like right in my time zone. Maybe an hour early before people like finish dinner, play video games. Like normally like people, let's say people finish at 5, you know, they get home at 6. Probably like eat dinner by 7 and then at 7 they start gaming. I think that's like the standard gamer routine. How many players in there? 2 players. It's gonna be compelling. Guy's latency is kind of ass too. Two players spamming that is kind of cancer. They bleed us in 2. I think what we should do is get that. I mean, there's really not much you can do, honestly. Like, what do I have that's like stronger than this? I have Wave of Piss. Not really sure that's gonna be that useful though. Yeah, I don't think I can do much. This game is just too spammable. Whoops. I don't have the weapons to deal with this. Even if these guys are ass, I don't think you can do much there. For these situations, you need Barb Roar Pada to deal with shit players like that. You need Barb Roar Pada, and you need the ability to equip like a Spiral Horn. And I would equip Spiral Horn, but because we're making like dedicated builds to certain weapons, like I'm basically like flush on my weight. Like I can't add anything to that, otherwise we fat roll. That's the thing with you know, with making like vids with new setups. Like the ginkers don't care about the new setups you're trying. Like they're gonna use like, you know, whatever they want every time with numbers. But you basically always need to have like optimal pada like ready for situations like that. I think what I'm gonna do before the stream ends, like I'm gonna do one last invasion, and then after that, I'll try to close the stream and then restart it with different settings to test things again before getting off. I want to make sure the settings for next stream are correct. That clipped me. All right. This is quite dangerous because that ash kind of locks you in if you do the follow-up. The second part is fine, it's the third part that's dangerous. Alright guys, one last and then I'm gonna be restarting the stream a few times just to make sure everything's fine for next stream. Cutscene Ash of War? Yep, that's a good way to put it. That's the right way to describe it. And you press L2 to enter the cutscene. New players in there. Got people. Is that a red summon or is that a 2v2? Says there's another player in there. Is the red gonna target me? That's the question. It says there's... Oh no, never mind, there's another. What is that? Oh, it's Shag. Who is he targeting? Me or the host? Guess he's targeting me. I don't know anymore. satisfying gameplay. I guess if you unlock that works. We lagged a bit there. Oh, the lag is real. That guy is lagging like crazy. Alright, I think that's gonna be it for today. Honestly, pretty bad day for the stream. Not necessarily because you know, of the weapon or the setup. It's just not a lot of activity. Problems with the Twitch stream. Very unfortunate. Alright guys, I'm gonna call it a day here. I'm gonna raid someone else, but my stream is gonna keep like restarting for a few times, you know, just trying settings and everything. Alright guys, I'm gonna call it here. Let's raid someone before I do that. Let's raid Owen. Smart of Steel to be on night rain. Alright, take care guys. Have a good one. All right.